Here's the finished system before we talk setup. A saved article lands in an Obsidian inbox. A quick idea from Telegram becomes a markdown note. A voice note becomes text. Then Claude reads the last day of captures and writes a morning brief. 3. Connections, one pattern, and one question worth thinking about. That is the difference between a vault that stores information and a vault that gives information back. CyrilXBT's article calls this the feedback loop most second-brain systems are missing. Most people collect notes until the vault becomes a beautiful graveyard. This build goes the other way. Capture first, route automatically, store locally, then make Claude return useful insight every morning. The source is an X article by CyrilXBT called How to Build an Obsidian Knowledge Vault. That gets smarter every day without you doing anything. The hook is simple. Every article you read, every tweet you save, every voice note you record, all of it flows in automatically. Claude connects the dots. You collect the insight. That framing matters because it avoids the usual Obsidian trap. The value is not a prettier folder system. The value is a loop. Information enters with almost no friction, then the system pushes useful context back when you are ready to work. That is why this should be treated as a build tutorial, not just a note-taking tip. The article says most knowledge systems fail for 3 fixable reasons. First, capture friction. If saving something takes copying, pasting, tagging, categorizing, and summarizing, the habit dies as soon as real work gets busy. Second, there is no connection layer. Notes sit in separate files, and nothing says that the thing you saved months ago connects to the problem you are solving today. Third, there is no reason to return. If the vault waits for you to remember what to search for, it becomes a bookmarking tool. A second brain that never talks back is not a second brain. It is a very organized way to forget things. The architecture has 4 layers, and each layer does exactly one job. Layer 1 is capture. Readwise collects highlights and saved reading. Air, or a transcript tool, captures podcast moments. Whisper turns voice notes and meetings into text. A Telegram bot catches quick ideas from your phone. Layer 2 is the pipeline. N8N watches each source and writes clean markdown into the right vault location. Layer 3 is Obsidian, the permanent local markdown store. Everything important lives as files, not as some opaque app database. Layer 4 is Claude. Claude reads across the vault, finds patterns, points out contradictions, and writes the brief. The trick is that no layer tries to do everything. The capture layer has to be boring because boring is what survives. For articles, Readwise handles highlights and can connect to Kindle, Twitter bookmarks, Instapaper, and Pocket. For audio, the article mentions Air for podcast clips and Whisper for longer recordings. For quick capture, the suggested route is a Telegram bot. Send a message to the bot and N8N turns it into a markdown file in the inbox. The source workflow is clear. Telegram trigger, then a code node that formats the note, then a file right into the Obsidian vault path. No manual filing. No deciding the perfect folder. While standing in line, raw information goes in first. The vault structure is intentionally small. Inbox, notes, ideas, projects, and CLAUDE.md. Inbox is where unprocessed captures land. Notes stores processed articles, highlights, podcast clips, and research. Ideas stores your own thinking, including observations and transcribed voice notes. Project stores active work, 1 folder per project. CLAUDE.md is the instruction layer. It tells Claude who you are, what you are working on, how the vault is organized, and what kind of help you want. The articles template asks Claude to surface unseen connections, challenge assumptions, answer from vault context, and flag contradictions. That file is what stops every new session from starting cold. The daily brief is the first real payoff. Every weekday at 6 in the morning, N8N runs a Claude prompt against recent captures. It reads the inbox from the last 24 hours and notes from the last 7 days. Then it writes 3 sections. Connections. The 3 most interesting links between recent captures and older notes. Pattern 1. Theme that seems to be showing up in your reading this week. Question. One thing worth sitting with today. The weekly synthesis goes deeper. It asks for an emerging thesis, contradictions, knowledge gaps, and one action. That is where the vault starts. Compounding. Not because the folders are perfect, but because the system keeps forcing old information back into active thought. The practical move is not to build the perfect life operating system tonight. Start with 5 notes. Put 5 articles, ideas, or questions into a small Obsidian vault. Add the simple folder structure. Write a CLAUDE.md that explains your work and what you want from the vault. Then ask Claude to find connections across those 5 files. If it finds one useful link you missed, the system has proven itself. From there, add one automatic capture route at a time. The cost caveat is real. Obsidian can be local, but Claude, Readwise, automation hosting, and transcription can cost money depending on the route you choose. Start small, prove the feedback loop, then automate.